Hey man, are you free? Let's do it. And finally he is here. So hey guys, Dhananjay here with
Saurav Sinha from Saurav Sinha channel.
finally we have another guy with a channel name of his own name. I mean that's really nice to see. By the way, in this video we are going to discuss about
Cameras. So what camera to buy, why should you buy certain cameras. So that's what this video is going to be about.
If you have any doubts, I'm pretty much sure that that will be solved in this particular video. So without further delay, let's get started and let's start with the most important question. Why should I get a camera?
Yeah, so this is the first basic question that you should ask yourself, is because you might be getting a camera for photography or videography or both. So unless and until you're very sure about what reason or what purpose you're going to buy the camera, deciding what model you should buy doesn't make sense. So ask yourself this question, because certain cameras are better for photography, certain cameras are better for videography. Yeah.
Yes. And this brings me to the next question. If I have the budget of let's say around 20 to 25,000 rupees, which is the least budget you should have for a DSLR or basic photography, I think, then which camera should I go with?
So starting with this budget, I think the Canon 1300D is a good camera to buy. So you will get it about 20 to 25,000. So all the prices that will be mentioned are approximate prices. So just make sure to check all the links in the description below. So 1300D is a good entry level camera. So if you have a less budget, you can go with that camera. It can do pretty good, decent photos and videos. Okay. So yeah, that solves the...
This brings me to the most important question. With 1300D, you're going to get the kit lens. Is the kit lens good enough? Should I invest in 1300D's body and go with a dedicated lens or a prime lens maybe? Or what should I do?
That's a very good question actually. So answering this question, kit lens is the lens which you get with the camera. Yeah. Just to clarify that. So kit lenses are good enough for beginners if you want to learn photography. But kit lenses are not going to give you the best or the most optimum quality that your camera can offer. Correct. You actually have to invest in a better quality lens. So generally what I suggest is try to get a prime lens. So if you're a Canon user, you can go with a 40mm pancake lens. If you're a Nikon user, you can go with a 35 or a 50mm lens. So basically the prime lenses are the lenses which don't zoom in or zoom out. You have a separate video. Basically I have a separate video about prime lens.
Which will be linked in the I button over there.
Exactly. So prime lenses are something that will offer you really good quality. So even though you're getting a kit lens, it's fine. You can learn a lot of stuff because you have a flexibility. But I would highly recommend to invest also in the prime lens.
Okay, as we are talking about lenses, let me ask this question. Like, let's assume I have budget of 1 lakh rupees for a good camera setup.
Yeah.
How much should I invest in a camera? How much should I invest in a lens? Or should I just buy a kit lens and start off with that?
No, what I think is it should be about 60-40 ratio. Okay, so 60% you can invest in a camera body because of course camera body is very important, right? The sensor, we'll talk about that, but it's really important. But at the same time, doesn't matter how good a camera is, if the lenses that you're pairing with the camera are not able to justify the sensor of the camera, then it's not going to be useful. So you need to make sure that you're also investing in good lenses along with a good camera. Okay. So maybe if you have a budget of 1 lakh, 60,000 for the body, 40,000 for the lenses, also including a prime lens.
One most important question. If someone is actually starting for the first time ever and this is the first time they are buying a DSLR, I personally think that they should buy a kit lens and they should work with that for the first at least 5 to 6 months. They should get to know about the lens and composition, other things. Another video which he has made will be linked in the I button over here. So what do you think about that? Should a beginner start with kit lens only?
Okay, so you can start with the kit lens or you can also start with the prime lens. So personally, I started with the prime lens. Okay. Because see, you don't have the option to zoom in and zoom out. You actually have to move forward or move backward if you want to compose your shot. And I think that actually helps to, learn photography or videography in general in a much better manner. So kit lenses can be a good option, but again, I would also recommend prime lenses.
Okay, that's a great thing. We talked about photography a lot. Now let's talk about videos. So let's assume you are a YouTuber, and there are a lot of YouTubers these days, and you have budget of, let's say, more than 30,000 or 40,000. Then there are multiple cameras which you can buy, such as 200D, which I personally think is one of the best cameras for YouTube videos, because when it comes to YouTube, you're going to shoot videos, and in videos, skin tones and colors matter, and Canon colors in videos are better as compared to Nikon. Plus, dual autofocus. Dual pixel autofocus is like
the dual pixel autofocus. Talking about that, it's better than any of the Nikon cameras that you see. So first of all, a lot of guys have these questions. Okay, so Dhananjay or Saurav, like, what should I buy, Nikon or Canon? So it's not like that. Okay, each and every company is good enough. That's why they are in the market right now.
Exactly.
The thing is, certain cameras are better for certain things. As Dhananjay was saying, basically when in videos, I slightly prefer the look of Canon cameras, and when it comes to photography, I slightly tend to prefer the Nikon cameras.
Yes. So 200D, if you have budget of around 40,000 rupees, you can also go with the 800D, which is little bit costlier, but still, I would recommend you to go with the 200D's body and buy a separate lens, as we mentioned earlier, because buying a good body like 200D and buying a good lens will end up producing a better looking video as compared to buying a 800D with a kit lens.
Exactly.
So as we mentioned earlier, lenses are very important when it comes to shooting photos, videos, or anything with your camera.
Seriously. Okay, so if you have a budget of about 50,000, you can like go with the 200D, get a kit lens, get a prime lens as well. Like, that solves the issue of that particular budget.
Let's talk about vlogging, because vlogging is very important nowadays, and many people are shooting vlogs and they want to improve their quality. They want to go to Mumbai Ka Nikhil's quality, let's assume. Then Canon 80D, obviously, because Mumbai Ka Nikhil used to shoot with Canon 80D.
Yes.
But if you want a smaller camera because you don't want to carry
a very heavy camera, a very large camera, so I would prefer something portable like a point and shoot. Something like a Canon G7X Mark II. That's a very, very good point and shoot camera for vlogging.
Or Sony RX100 Mark V, which is much costlier
which is expensive, but you get a better autofocus and a slightly better video output. So yeah, if you have that budget, you can go with the RX100 Mark V. But again, if you're going with G7X Mark II, you're
which
good
is
to go.
available for around 50,000 rupees, mostly less than that.
Less than that, yes.
The Sony RX100 Mark V will be available for around 70,000.
Yeah. So that depends on your budget, but both the cameras are really good for vlogging.
Yes. And when it comes to 80D, you will need to buy a lens which is wider, and that will make you
which can also like blur the background and stuff. With this point and shoot cameras, you're already getting a very good lens inbuilt, so you don't have to spend extra money.
But then you won't be able to change lenses on that camera.
That's true.
So this is a disadvantage of this camera, but you are getting a portable camera. So
so for vlogging, it's totally fine, right?
Yes, totally. This was about video. Now let's talk about the photographers out there. I think Nikon cameras are better in this price range if you are shooting photos.
Yeah, so when it comes to about like 30 to 50,000, you have cameras like Nikon D3400, Nikon D5300, Nikon D5600. So these are very good cameras when it comes to photography, because overall I feel the photos coming out from the Nikon cameras have slightly better dynamic range, slightly better low light performance, and that is what matters a lot to the photographers. So if you're into photography, if your main purpose is photography, go with the Nikon options that I suggested. But if you're much into videos, go with the 800D or the 200D. It's not that Nikon cameras can't do video, but the focusing will be much more superior in the Canon cameras.
And D3400 is available, like, is the least amount of budget if you have. Then D5300 and D5600. It depends on your budget. All these cameras are very good enough when it comes to photography.
So you can get what fits in your budget.
This brings me to the next camera, which is Sony A6300, which is available for around 60 to 70,000 rupees. And A6300, oh my god, I just bought A6300 myself to shoot A-roll for my videos. That's because autofocusing is like one of the best when it comes to any camera under the price of 1 lakh rupees. Am I correct?
Yeah, right.
When it comes to videos, it produces extremely good looking videos. Plus, you also get Sigma lenses with Sony E-mount. Like, I am going to buy the Sony 16mm f1.4, which is available just for 30,000 rupees. So that's another advantage that you get with Sony cameras. Now let's assume you have little higher budget of 1 lakh rupees. You can go with Sony A6500. Now there are two major issues with these cameras. First of all, no tilt screen with Sony a6300 or a6500.
True.
Second, a6300 has little bit issue when it comes to heating, and that's something which I worry about too, because I bought the a6300. But there is one open tweak software which you can install on your device and enable unlimited recording on your device. And with the latest firmware, which is firmware 2.0, the overheating issue on the a6300 is fixed a little bit, so you can shoot longer videos with the a6300 as well. This was about videography, and a6300 and a6500 with lenses such as Sigma or any other prime lens, it is going to be a killer setup in my opinion if you shoot YouTube videos primarily.
Right, and just to add to this point, if you have a slightly more budget, even considering a6500 will make sense, just because the low light performance is better and the overheating issue is less severe in a6500.
Correct.
So if you're shooting videos for more duration, it makes sense to get a camera that doesn't overheat, because that is really a very big issue when it comes to video cameras.
But I ended up buying a6300 because, as I mentioned, budget, घर वाले budget अभी 40,000 extra तो difficult होता है.
That's true.
But when it comes to Canon side of things, when it comes to videos, which one would you recommend?
Okay, so in the same, like about 70,000 budget range, Canon 80D is an excellent camera. So like you might have seen, Casey Neistat, and like there are so many vloggers, Mumbai Ka Nikhil, there's so many YouTubers that use Canon 80D, and the reason is it's not that like everyone uses Canon 80D so the other people use. The video autofocusing is really good. The 1080p video quality that comes from that camera is really good. The colors are also very amazing. So even if you're not very camera savvy, very tech savvy person, still the video outcome is really going to be good. Maybe you're not comfortable with manual focus, but the dual pixel autofocus, as I was talking about, is amazing. So yeah, maybe it is not as good as a6300, but still, it is really good. And in day-to-day life situations, Canon 80D can be really good option. And just to add one more thing, Canon 80D will also be better for photographers if you're comparing a6300 and 80D. So if you also want to shoot photos, maybe Canon 80D will be better. You also get a lot more options for the lenses. Of course, you can use mounts, but again, it's not the same experience.
Yeah. And one more thing, if you are not aware of how to use ISO, how to use exposure, how to use shutter speed, anything like that, Canon 80D will give you a very good photo or very good video, even if you keep them on auto. And that's the advantage of auto settings, and that's why many vloggers use that, because they do not have to change the exposure every now and then. That's why 80D is something which I personally prefer over a6300 if you are someone like that.
I won't prefer that, because I would prefer you learning what ISO and stuff are.
Yeah, obviously.
So that you can go to my channel and I get subscribers.
अभी 2 I button में हो गया. I guess that's enough for that video. You will have to visit Saurav Sinha's channel, which is linked in the description box below. Subscribe to his channel. That's you have to do that.
Nice piece of promotion here.
Now, last few cameras were mainly focusing on videos. Now let's talk about photography.
Yeah, so again, in the same price range, about 70,000 for photography, I would again prefer certain cameras which Nikon produces. Like you have Nikon D7200, you have Nikon D7500.
Correct.
So when it comes to the 7 series, I find the autofocus and the image quality to be slightly better than the 5 series, like the 56 series. So yeah, so the Nikon D7200 is a slightly better camera when it comes to photography. The video output is good. I'm not saying the video output is bad. The quality is good, but again, the autofocusing won't be similar anywhere to like when you compare to the 80D.
So by 80D for videos.
Yeah, and by D7200 for photos. And if you want to shoot 4K, you can actually increase your budget a bit and go for Nikon D7500.
Yes.
So Nikon D7500, like it can shoot 4K video. So if you're comfortable with manual focusing, like I shoot all my videos with manual focusing. So if you're comfortable with that, Nikon D7500 is a great option, because not only you're getting a good camera which can produce amazing images, but also 4K video, and the video output is really very good for a camera that's focused towards photography.
And currently we are shooting this video on the D750.
Yeah.
Why do you use this camera for videos as well as photos that you post on your Instagram?
Right, so Nikon D750 is a full frame camera, okay? So if you don't know what full frame cameras are, in short, Full frame cameras, crop sensor cameras are very similar, but full frame cameras have a larger sensor. So if you have a larger sensor, it will have better low light performance, better colors, better dynamic range, overall better image quality, better video quality. So I use this particular camera mainly for photography. But when I started my YouTube channel, I also started shooting videos, and it can only shoot 1080p video, but the video quality is really good. Right now what you're watching is shot with a Nikon D750.
And this particular angle is being shot with the Panasonic GH4. You can notice the quality difference over here. I don't know which one is better yet because I'm yet to edit this video, but GH4, because this is my camera and this is his camera.
So yeah, jokes apart, a Nikon D750 is a great camera if you have a budget of about 1 lakh rupees. It is one of the best camera you will get in this budget range because it can produce amazing looking images. Believe me, the images even shot at higher ISOs like 6400, 12800 are also usable. So that's something that I use a lot. Okay. And even for videos, I can shoot in flat and then I color grade my videos. So even I have a little bit of flexibility there too. So
and one Canon camera which is not that popular is the 6D Mark II.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see people suggesting to buy Canon 60 Mark II over some other camera. So what do you think? For video, should I go with once again Canon 60 Mark II?
I can understand why people don't suggest 6D Mark II since there are cameras like A6300 and the 6500. But again, if I were a photographer and I want to use a camera for videos as well that has excellent autofocus like 80D, I would go with the 6D Mark II. Like 6D Mark II is 80D on steroids, which can produce better photos and videos. So yeah,
and 6D Mark II is available for more than 1 lakh, obviously. So the price difference is there, but you get better quality.
Yeah. So if you want something better than Canon 80D, then 6D Mark II is a very good camera.
And this brings me to the camera on which we are shooting this particular video, Panasonic Cameras. If you have budget of more than 1 lakh rupees, Panasonic GH4, which is little bit old now, but very robust camera. You can shoot like 2-3 hours of videos with that particular camera without having any issues, no heating issues. GH5, another better camera. GH5S, very good battery life once again, and very good low light camera performance. But when it comes to GH5S, it is going to cost you a bomb. So GH5, buy GH5 if you need in-body image stabilization because GH5S does not have that. So if you are extremely serious about videography, then Panasonic cameras such as GH5 and GH5S make a lot of sense to me because you get a very good, extremely good 4K performance. 4K, not only 4K but 4K 60 FPS.
That's amazing.
Which I don't think so any Canon camera or Nikon camera for that matter can shoot this in this price range at least.
One more camera I would like to add is the Panasonic G85.
Oh yes.
So G85. So talking about Panasonic G85, like you might not have a budget of about 1.5 lakhs to buy a GH5 or something. So if you have a budget of 1 lakh in if you don't want the 6D Mark II, then you can go with the Panasonic G85, okay?
Very good autofocusing system on the Panasonic G85. GH4's autofocus is not that great. I would not recommend you to go with the GH4 now. You may want to go with the G85 or the G7, which is available for much less price, like 40 to 50,000 rupees. Then you can go with that. Now I guess this is like the maximum budget we should discuss in this video. But let's assume someone wants to buy camera till 2 lakh or 3 lakh, and as this video is going on YouTube, let's talk about the video camera. Which one would you recommend?
So of course you have like Canon 1DX Mark II that a lot of YouTubers use. So the YouTuber I follow a lot is Peter McKinnon. So he uses 1DX Mark II. So basically 1DX Mark II is like a total beast of a camera, okay? It can shoot amazing images, it can shoot 4K, it can shoot 1080p 120 FPS. So yeah, if you have that budget, you can buy that camera and gift one to each of us. Each one of us.
Absolutely. And I guess that's much it for this particular video, guys. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. If you still have any more doubts, sessions or queries regarding DSLRs, cameras, point and shoots, do let us know about that in the comment section box below. I'm pretty much sure that Saurav will answer most of those questions as he's an expert in photography and videography. His channel is based on
photography, videography. In general, how do you use your camera, okay? So if you have any questions regarding camera or you want to learn some technique, head over to my channel and subscribe to my channel, subscribe to his channel. We both try to make the best content for you guys. So if you haven't subscribed yet, pause the video, subscribe, then continue watching this video. Yeah.
So yeah, and his channel is one of the best channels that I've come across in a long time because he lives in Mumbai and like, he creates really good content. I'm 100% sure that you won't regret subscribing to his channel, and I rarely say this, and I'm going to say this for his channel at least.
Thanks a lot.
And that brings me to end of this video. What do you think? What's the last piece of advice that you will give?
So the last piece of advice is, no matter how much you search, you won't ever get the best camera if you keep on searching, okay?
Yes.
You have to settle down with one camera. I know it's a difficult task to do, but always try to understand this. It doesn't matter if you don't get the best camera which is available in the market right now. You have to be talented, you have to be creative. It is you who matters more than the camera itself. You know, always remember the person behind the camera is going to be more important, because you are going to be responsible for creating the content, not the camera. Give me the best camera in the world, and if I can't use it, doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
So put more efforts, try creating better content, as we both are trying. So
and try to learn from his videos, because his videos are based around that.
Yeah.
And I guess
that's it from this video.
We'll go now. Talking. I hope you watched the complete video. If you did, don't forget to comment #broscott in the comment section box below.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye bye.